It's Tuesday night. It's 6 p.m. EST, 11 p.m. GMT, and you're listening to the Lowdown with the Levels of Wrestling. Hey guys, how we all doing tonight?
Pretty bad.
Yeah. Apparently we've had a mix-up already, so that's a good start.
I was going to say we've travelled through time and it's now Tuesday night.
We record in advance for next week, obviously. Shut up.
It's Tuesday somewhere, right?
It's Tuesday if you're on, like, some other place. Shut up. Anyway, how's everyone doing tonight, guys?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm so happy to be in my time machine. This is fucking fantastic.
If you remember the old wrestling games like SmackDown vs. Raw, we stole the Edge and Christian time machine.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I remember that.
Good. Now we know which time machine we're all in. We can all stop using it and come back to Wednesday, because it's Wednesday at 6 p.m. EST, 11 p.m. GMT, and you're here with Lowdown. I'm joined tonight by Paul, Krista, and Chris. How are we doing, guys?
It only
Great
took
Scott!
It only took 2 attempts to get that right, Craig. Well done.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you start a show. You start a show with a Back to the Future style segment.
Once this thing gets to 80 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious shit.
Once this gets to 80 miles an hour, I am screwed.
Yeah.
I
So,
gotta
guys,
say, your photo on your Facebook, you look kind of like Grotto.
oh, that was the point. Swag.
Hashtag swag.
Alright, thanks, Diggy Gaming. We are aware we're down to a botchy start. Love you too.
We have a Sin Cara start, ladies and gentlemen.
So, on tonight's show, guys, we are going to discuss, did Roman Reigns really fail a drug test? Is Brock Lesnar mad? And if so, why the hell did he walk out of Raw? We're going to have the fallout from both Raw and FastLane. We're going to give you our PopNHeat for the week. And of course, we have got the one and only Weekly Wazim. Is he going to retain his title? Is he going to come back and bitch slap someone? Who knows? And guys, of course, we're going to take all questions from you. If you've got anything you want to ask us, send it in at Leveler, LOW, and be sure to listen in because we will answer all questions live tonight. So guys, let's start first. Obviously, today it kind of broke at some point from a Reddit user who's not usually seen as a source for WWE leaks that Roman Reigns had failed a drug test. I think straight away it was fair to say we'd all kind of worried that it may have been slightly true. But then we also kind of looked around it. So what were your thoughts on it initially, guys?
Initially, I thought it would be out of character for Reigns, considering that I've seen him do the interviews out of character and I've seen the kind of guy that he is. I sort of felt like him doing drugs knowing the position he's in. Yeah, it wouldn't exactly be something he'd try and do.
What about you, Paul? How did you find it?
I was real nervous because I really thought that we were going to have ourselves a Goldberg-Lesnar situation possibly where, you know, the lesser of all evils would have been Seth Rollins and his dick pics cashing in at WrestleMania just to be the lesser of all evils. But, yeah, I mean, it just looks to be bullshit right now, and it's a non-issue. You know, hopefully this isn't going to start a trend where every rumor that gets leaked out there, you know, we're going to take it back.
Yeah, I have to know. I was concerned about the number of people that instantly said, "Oh yeah, this is 100% true."
I will say when I was speaking to B_Rot36 earlier, that we had said obviously there's a lot of things that this could have taken into account. But like Paul's just said, you've got to take into account what's the lesser evil. Is it dick pics before money problems? Is it dick pics before drugs? I mean, where does drugs and dick pics come into it? Are the two mixed? Would they both get punished the same?
Okay, the dick pic jokes were last week, and that's not it.
I don't know, those are still a thing. Don't worry.
We're not going to miss out on dick jokes, don't be silly.
No!
Yeah, don't go out of your way to make them. It just feels too...
Oh, I'm not going to go out my way to make them. I just know that it hurts the girls over at Just Saying. Cause...
Speaking of which, big shout out to the girls at Just Saying.
Yeah, be sure to go over and check them out every every single week. They got a new show going up on levelsofwrestling.podbean.com. So be
Yeah,
sure
they're wicked awesome too. So go listen to them.
Did you have to say wicked awesome in such an accent? Nick? You're wicked
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, they're
Brooklyn.
wicked awesome.
They're a couple of Mark Wahlbergs. You gotta love them.
Also, shout out to Ringside Ramblers and Minor Carnage.
You guys are always
Yeah.
following us. Be sure to follow all of them as well, guys.
Yes.
But Krista, what was your thoughts on Roman Reigns? I mean, you stay quite quiet on this.
Well, in the beginning, it could have been legit, so I actually went over and looked at the WWE drug policy. It's quite all-encompassing. Like, they can't even take herbal supplements without permission. So it could have been as easy as him taking a Tylenol and it staying in his system. It could be as simple as him drinking frickin' herbal tea, for all we know. So I'm always of a case when it comes to something like this, I'm always one to kind of wait to see if there is confirmation. And as we found out later, it's absolute bogus. So it could have been in the style of Seth Rollins' unfortunate wiener exposure, a way to kind of build talk, way to build kind of interest in him, even if it's negative, because like they say, all publicity is good publicity, even the bad publicity. And like P.T. Barnum said at one point, there's a sucker born every minute. So I think it was just either could have been a legit, hey, he took the wrong thing and shit, it didn't pass through his system fast enough, or somebody in the ranks is just trying to stir up some shit. Either way, right now, because it's already been confirmed that it's crap, it's a non-event.
Well, it's not exactly been confirmed yet. I mean, it's been said, but it's not confirmed. The only way we're ever going to know it's confirmed is if, well, nothing ever happens and Lesnar turns up next week.
Hey, but then you're gonna have the same people saying that nothing happened because he's the main event guy.
Well, and that's the argument. I mean, would Vince really ignore the policy if his guy? Yeah, probably would.
I don't think he would. Not after Jack Swagger 2 years ago. They made a big deal out of that.
Yeah, but Jack Swagger was a mid-card guy. He wasn't a top face of the company.
He was still heading a title.
If John Cena was caught doing, I don't know, cocaine or something, yeah, they'd punish him, but they wouldn't, like, if it was coming up to Mania, they'd wait till after to punish him. Or he wouldn't win the title or something like that, they wouldn't take him off the program.
Yep, and that's the big thing a lot of people forgot. Much like Jack Swagger, WWE actually didn't have to punish Roman Reigns if this was true straight away. They can wait till whatever point in the year, so long as they provide him with a 30-day suspension. Because obviously it's only his first instance. If it was true, it would have been 30 days. If it had been a second instance that he'd been caught, it would have been 60 days. And a third time would be suspension indefinitely.
Unless, of course, you're Randy Orton.
Well, then you just get a handbag and everyone's happy.
Well, the one I love is the fact that, shit, I even forgot what I was going to say. Technically, if Lesnar's last day on the contract is the day after WrestleMania for Raw, even then they could write off Reigns for 30 days by having, you know, Lesnar go after Reigns and Rollins curb stomps the shit out of them both and cashes in. And then 30 days later, Reigns turns up and goes, hey, I want my title back.
See, the thing is, though, is that because it's now public knowledge, I don't know if they could write him off that way.
I think the issue as well with it being public knowledge is now, regardless of whether it's true or whether it's fake, fans or smart marks all around the towns, all over Twitter, every time Reigns is on screen, there's going to be drug jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, there will be. And that's quite unfortunate because that, you know, with everything, everybody wanting, you know, you have the dilemma between kayfabe and between reality. And this thing.
Thunder Angel 454 says it depends. marijuana is being legalized, and I don't see an issue with it, so they shouldn't be punished.
Yeah, but this is the WWE. These guys can't even take a fucking Tylenol without the medical team being all over their butts. I recommend anybody who's listening go and take a look at that policy, because it is pretty... Like, they have to get permission for anything and everything.
Which, to be
And they
honest...
actually have to put it in writing. They actually have to put the request in writing. It's not a case of them just walking in.
Which, to be honest, like...
My doctor's giving me this, is it okay? They actually have to put in writing to the brass that this is what their personal doctor has prescribed them.
To be honest, I can understand, because when you look at a lot of medications, even stuff like Tylenol, you will find the side effects, and if any of those side effects can cause things wrong with muscles or with fatigue or something like that, or take us you to drop somebody in the middle of a move, and oh wait, there's Steve Austin. It's the Steve Austin, it's the Bret Hart position.
Yeah.
But people
And I understand where you're coming from.
Okay, was there more to that one?
I was going to say, X-Diggy Gaming says that Reigns could be on painkillers due to his hernia and things. Maybe.
That could be true, in which case you should have a prescription.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're not gonna have reports leaked that someone pissed hot because they're on a prescription. I mean that stuff. You know, they have WWE doctors, that type of thing.
And if
You
the
know,
report
to me, this is just it's bullshit, is what it is. That's it from top to bottom.
But even if it is true, that wouldn't cause Lesnar to walk out the way that Lesnar walked out. Which brings us to our next topic.
Right.
We'll save that for a little bit. But this whole thing with stars, you know, ending up with drug cases, so to say, a lot of people were mentioning like that Roman Reigns could have a lot of rebuttal from this, and that fans won't get behind him as much. And then I kind of looked at guys like Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy. All these guys have had bad drug cases, and still they end up in the main event, and still they end up getting cheered. Do you think Reigns is going to have the same kind of issues, or do you think he'll be okay?
Considering Reigns wasn't over to begin with, in some cases he wasn't over to begin with, he could face the same Jack Swagger treatment whereby nobody particularly gave a crap afterwards. Because, well, it was Jack Swagger. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if it is true, I mean, he's still in the main event of WrestleMania. You don't get bigger than that. So that just means he's not sniffing that title if it is true. That's not happening. I mean, look what happened to Rob Van Dam. He was an ECW and WWE champion at the same time. He dropped both those belts in a matter of weeks. So.
Yeah, there was a big issue with that as well, though, because it wasn't like a little thing he got caught with. He was openly saying he was smoking cannabis.
Oh,
well,
yeah, hey, I have no problem with it. So.
Just on the net here at WrestlingNews.co, and it says, in regards to this is by Greg Beck, in regards to the story going around about Roman Reigns supposedly failing a drug test on Monday, the story is not true. Contacted WWE and they told us that the rumors are absolutely false.
Yeah, everyone's... But let's be honest, if this was WWE, you know, asked, oh, it's one of your top guys and the guy you want to be face of the company, caught positive on a drugs test, they're not exactly going to say yes, are they?
Well...
oh yeah, the guy that we're pushing down everyone's throats, and the guy that we want to be the face of our company, just got caught breaking down drug policy.
They've done it with Rob Van Dam, who was a double champion at the time. They've done it with Randy Orton. They've done it with Rey Mysterio.
They had Jeff Hardy openly admit on TV that he had a problem.
Yeah. You know, Roman Reigns isn't bigger than any of these guys. I mean, you know, he's not someone that they're going to risk their reputation for. Oh,
here's a nice, interesting fact. Again, ex-Diggy Gamer is obviously listening in, and he said that Brock may have walked out due to WWE trying to cover up the drugs test, which could impact him in UFC if he chooses to leave.
You know what? Brock Lesnar is a mercenary. All he gives a fuck about is money and himself.
Disagree.
That's it. That's what he cares about.
I completely. If you read Brock Lesnar's book, you will see the passion.
Brock Lesnar can't read. How the hell did he write a book?
Oh, you can't read. That's the difference then. But in regards to Lesnar, I don't necessarily think that he's as uncaring as people seem to think. I think that there is, to an extent, he cares about the business, but he does care more about himself. And if that is the case, then I could believe that he may disagree with them covering it up. Because, yeah, if that comes back and it finds out, oh, wait, you knew about them breaking the drug policy, that could come back on Brock Lesnar's ass later down the line.
But later down the line, Brock's going to be $5 million in his pocket and at least $1 million for another fight, plus a training deal, a sponsorship deal. And by that point, he's old enough and retired enough that he can go on his farm and not give a shit.
Yeah, what the fuck does he care if Roman Reigns pisses hot? Okay, so that he gets to beat him at Mania?
If you think about it, Kurt Angle was on drugs.
Anything will have a negative impact on Lesnar if he goes back to being a UFC fighter. Because it's not Brock that pissed hot, it was Reigns.
Yeah.
If Lesnar had pissed hot, then yeah, he'd be well and truly up to the creek. But he didn't. It's Reigns. If Reigns pissed hot, it's on Reigns' shoulders to deal with it. It's on WWE's shoulders to deal with it.
But there's the whole guilty by association thing that exists, whereby people will look down their nose at him and say, oh, you knew about this. How do we know that you aren't involved as well?
Yabba dabba do. They could say that about the whole bloody roster, couldn't they?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just
the whole roster isn't probably about it. The whole roster probably isn't about to leave and go back to mixed martial arts. That's the issue.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at it, we wouldn't have said a year ago that CM Punk was going to MMA, and we still don't know for sure that Brock Lesnar will be going back to UFC. There's no guarantee.
I'm just saying, if that is the case, and if he's leaving the company, especially if even if he's only weighing his options, that has to take into account something.
I agree, and do you know what my favourite part about this is? The fact that this is all rumour, and yet fans seem to be taking this like it's the biggest, fuck-up since history began.
Oh yeah, I mean, there is no evidence either way, to be honest. I mean, how?
Well, I mean, how we've dedicated 10 minutes to it, so.
Yeah, we've dedicated 15 minutes to this.
I mean,
for all we know, Brock Lesnar asked for more money and got told no. That's all this was about.
See, Brock was going to come on and he was going to say his part, but he actually went home angry already, so that's not going to happen anymore, guys.
He probably asked for more money. I think that Lesnar has probably gone over his contracted appearance date and is now saying, I want more money for the rest of them, and WWE is saying no.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
when you think about it,
if we can move on and we can talk about Brock Lesnar leaving angry, straight off, the first thing that came to my mind was they had announced that he was going to be there, Paul Heyman had announced it, and then he flew out on his private jet. And 1 hour before they began, as per usual, Vince rewrote the script and changed his mind. Now, Brock had wasted several hours of his life going on his private jet, going out there, getting there to be told he didn't need to be there. That was a date, and he would have argued with Vince that that was one of his dates. And Vince would have told him, well, no, he didn't appear, so no, it's not.
That was one of the first things that came to my mind, was he probably flew all the way out there and got told, oh, we don't need you for tonight. And he's gone, well, fine, fuck you then, and walked off.
I mean, WWE knows that Brock Lesnar is an angry guy. Jim Cornette used to say that about him all the time down in OVW. Now, if that's the case and they know he's an angry guy, give him a heads up. You know, you might not be needed, and that should have been in his contract.
Even if he's not an angry guy, you should let your talent know if you've changed your mind and all of a sudden they are not needed. There is no need to make a guy catch a private jet down to wherever the hell you're hosting Raw just to be told, oh wait, we don't need you.
They do that with everybody.
How at least do them cycle.
When it's your champion, it's the guy that's costing an arm and a leg, and it's the guy that, you know, pretty much at the moment, I don't want to say he's the face of the company at the moment, but he's kind of half of what's going to sell WrestleMania.
Well, this is what I don't get, though. If he flies all the way there, then they say, well, you know, we're not going to need you. What kind of assholes are we dealing with here? You know, this is one of the biggest stars that you have. You know, he has limited dates. Every time that he's on TV, it's a happening. You fucking figure something out, then. You figure something out. You figure out a way to use him, because guess what? He will totally say, well, guess what? That's one of my appearances.
I 100% agree with that, and I honestly think that they completely. If that is the case, then it shows how incompetent they are, because there was a lack of communication right there, and there was a lack of creative direction, really.
Can I just say something in regards to that?
Go ahead.
In regards to them changing things at the last minute, this isn't Brock's first rodeo with the WWE. If he is not fully aware that they're going to pull something like this, regardless of what his contract says, then he's an idiot.
Not on the top guy in the company at the moment. You don't pull that kind. If this was The Rock, you wouldn't pull that kind of shit with The Rock. You don't pull that kind of shit with Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
You know that they've never flown The Rock in and said, "Oh wait, we don't need you," because who the fuck does that? Some incompetent assholes apparently, but you know, it's one of those things.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think, as we've said, Brock hasn't been there just once. He's seen everything there is to see with WWE. He knows it's going to happen, he's a top star, and that's just the way it should be. However, this shouldn't count as the date, regardless of what Brock thinks. This is not a date in his contract, and this is not an appearance. He did not make a show, he did not appear on television, and that will be what's in his contract, is per appearance basis.
Yep.
And his $5 million may have been, we'll give you 25 dates, you'll be paid X amount for each appearance. Because he didn't show, that's not an appearance. So in his mind, he's going, well, now I've got to make another appearance. I wasted money coming out here, and now I've got to do twice the work. What he forgets, though, is he's about to main event one of the biggest sporting events of the year for a lot of money for doing very little.
Which brings us to another rumoured reason for all of this. The fact that he doesn't want to put over Roman Reigns and drop the belt to Roman Reigns.
That's quite possible. It's not the first time it's happened with something like that.
I was going to say, in my eyes, this is the same situation that Austin was in with, ironically enough, Lesnar, where Brock's been told, okay, we've got 4 weeks to build this up, or 5 weeks to build this up. We're not really going to do anything with it, but you're still going to drop the title to him anyway, and everyone's expected to believe it.
Well, this is a little different. I mean, because Austin got pissed off because
Oh yeah,
he was going to put
that was on like no build whatsoever. That's more understandable.
Yeah, a no-build TV match. I mean, yeah, I understand that when you're a top guy. But, you know what? I mean, if tough shit, do what you're told. I mean, this is your job. I mean, if they tell you put this guy over, you put him over. That's it.
But I can understand where, if this is the case, Lesnar is coming from, because you look at the build that Reigns has. And it was pointed out in the picture that I sent to you guys earlier, where I am actually trying to find that again. Give me a moment. Shit.
So,
Oh yeah. Brock took 4 AAs, a spear through the barricade, a flying elbow through a table, a curb stomp, 2 briefcase shots to the head, and he still won the match. But we're expected to believe that 1 Superman punch and a spear will end the match.
I think they're going to give you more than a Superman punch and a spear. I think you're going to get one hell of a match, or at least one hell of a brawl, before the match happens. And it's got to show a weakness in Brock Lesnar. And that's going to be the chink in the armor that Reigns will focus on. And they'll use that as a hyping point for the match.
But to me, they shouldn't really... To be honest, the best way that they could do that then would be to go off of Rollins' injury to the ribs.
Oh, of course, yeah, because if he spears that rib now, then that's it.
Yeah, if you have him focus on those ribs going into Mania, okay, I can understand that. But if the build-up is going to be, Reigns can throw a punch and spear him and pin him, then yeah, I can understand Brock Lesnar going, well, what the fuck.
Okay, so is your worry now that they've booked him too strong?
My worry isn't that they've booked Lesnar too strong. My worry is that they haven't booked Reigns
strong enough.
Well, the problem is the only way realistically that I could see Lesnar losing is something like the Authority, like 6-on-1 friggin' attacking Lesnar. Lesnar's been built up to be the single most dominant athlete in the company. He's beat John Cena, 3 times? Yeah, something like that.
Right. And that's why you can't do a 6-on-1 beatdown. That's why you have to have Roman Reigns pin him clean to make Roman.
Yep. If this is all about making a star, then they're doing it the correct way.
Yeah.
Now, before we go off topic, though.
No, this isn't off topic. The problem with that is if you want to build him as a top star, and Lesnar has walked out for that reason, I can understand why Lesnar may want to have a match with Bryan. Because at least Bryan is capable of putting on a good technical match. Reigns, as much as people say Reigns had a good match, the question comes down to how much of that was Bryan doing work.
None.
I was going to say, I think you'll see over the next few weeks he held his own.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan didn't tell Roman Reigns to sell. I mean, he sold properly. He did his moves in there at the right time. He was doing all the right things. He turned the corner in that match. I mean, to me, Roman Reigns can be the next Sheamus in the ring, where he just like this stiff, strong style that he's developed the past few weeks. It's working.
I would, I just want to put a little question out there to you guys. Now, we've all thought that maybe this Brock Lesnar situation has all been a real thing. Have we been taken for a ride?
I swear to God, I hope so.
Have WWE done this as part of a storyline? Because with Triple H now, who has openly said he pays more attention to social media than anyone else in the company, and him kind of taking more of a forward role in the company, have they kind of listened and said, well, if fans are paying attention to all these rumors and dirt sheets, why don't we use it against them?
To be honest,
we already know that the source on Reddit was an unusual source. It's not one that usually posts about those kind of things. So why now? Why all of a sudden? And doesn't it seem funny that they would hype it up so much for Brock to just suddenly not appear?
I do have to admit that if that is the case, my hat goes off to Triple H and to whoever came up with this, because that would be a very good idea. And it would really be the first time that social media has been used in a way that is against the crowd.
I mean, see for the next month, if they decide to have Brock Lesnar storyline shit all over WWE, go do interviews saying it's rubbish, go do interviews saying it's pointless and that he'll burn the belt if he needs to. Have him shit on the company and then you have Reigns beat him for the sake of WWE. I mean, that makes a star.
I was going to say, if they're going down that road, I can understand where this is going a lot more than I could if it was anything else. The question still comes back to me. Would that make a main event? And
yeah, because it's Reigns fighting for WWE. I mean, if Brock leaves and he takes the belt with him, disgracing WWE at WrestleMania. I mean, Punk did it at SummerSlam. It's not a big thing. If they do it at WrestleMania, though, and the whole pressure's on Reigns to save the belt and the company, the legacy behind the belt, what it means, it's a big deal.
Even then, I think it'd be more interesting to have Lesnar fail, Rollins cash in, and have that be the storyline going to SummerSlam of being Reigns failed, Rollins succeeded where Reigns couldn't.
What do you think, Krista?
Pardon?
What do you think of the whole situation, Krista? Could fans have been taken for a ride?
Hang on. Yes, I think so. Especially if Triple H is the mastermind behind this. I think this could be leading up to one huge big swerve. I gotta turn off my phone here. It's going night.
It's okay. So you think there is a possibility of a swerve, though?
Yes, I think there's a huge possibility of a swerve. Because honestly, if Lesnar takes the belt and walks out like Punk did at SummerSlam, it's Mania, it's a bigger deal, but it's the same old storyline. It's not original.
I find it.
On you go, Chris.
I'll let Krista finish.
And, you know, a lot of things could happen from here on in. You know, because, I mean, remember last Mania, nobody saw The Undertaker being defeated. Nobody saw that coming. So I think that they could, if given enough time and given proper kind of, you know, build-up, they could make this to be a very, very large swerve.
Followers who are listening, I mean, obviously you guys will have an opinion on this, so let us know. Do you think it's a swerve, or do you think the whole situation has been some kind of dramatic involvement with Brock and his contract? Let us know your thoughts, and we'll read them out on the show. Paul, what do you think? Is it a swerve? Is it something that's going to happen?
The whole thing is just super up in the air. I mean, I would really, if they even mention the fact that his contract is up the day after WrestleMania, it's a work. That's just how it's gonna go. It'll be a fun way. It'll be a fun ride, and it'll be a great way to get Roman Reigns super over. I mean, because you know who's gonna boo that guy then. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Yeah, if they mention anything about his contract or him leaving with the belt and going anywhere else, it's a work.
My thought is as well, if they mention, say for instance, he does sign for another year, and WWE decides to say, well, look, your contract's up, and they say that on TV, 6 months from now, if he shows up at SummerSlam, I mean, the pop he would get, just because he's shown up unsigned, or kayfabe unsigned. I mean, it's a bigger reaction, bigger story, there's a lot of storyline they can push with that. It's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, you'd get a Triple H at Madison Square Garden kind of return. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that was exactly what happened when Lesnar returned, and even then, when Lesnar first came back, people knew he was coming back. If people hadn't known, imagine the reaction it'd have gotten then. Jesus.
Better than the one Dave got.
Dave...
You can diss them knowing he was coming back. He got a better reception than Dave.
Well, to be fair, that's kind of because everyone knew. The fact that it was timed around the Rumble, everyone knew exactly what was going to happen. And I think that put a lot of people off.
Okay, guys, so we are half an hour into Lowdown. Remember, if you're enjoying the shows or you would like to see us discuss something in particular, please give a like, a share, a comment, and be sure to subscribe as well on Podbean and as well on YouTube. Any feedback you give us helps us to improve your product. Just going back to that topic as well for a quick second to lead us into our new segment. X-Diggy Gaming says the WWE could be behind the Give a Divas a Chance scheme, so I don't see why they couldn't have this as a setup. It's got enough attention as it is. So guys, we mentioned the Give the Divas a Chance scheme there. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, obviously the Divas, or as I'm going to call them now, the women of WWE, they do get fed a lot of shit, and they're expected to swallow it down and just get on with it.
I would like to jump in very quickly here and say one word. Charlotte. That's what this is building to.
You see, I believe that as well.
In my opinion, this is all building to Charlotte coming in and Charlotte saying none of you can wrestle. Then all of a sudden, multi-20-minute matches with Charlotte and Natalya, Charlotte and Paige, and we'll find out one by one that the women's roster actually can wrestle. Despite what people might say on the internet and go, oh, none of these divas can wrestle, they can. Believe me, they can.
I made a point of saying on Twitter the other day that basically the divas, the ones who deserve to be pushed, are the ones that are being pushed currently. I mean, Paige, Naomi, Natalya, they're the ones that can wrestle. I mean, they're the ones that are doing the work. They're the ones, unfortunately though, that are struggling with character. Then you've got the Bellas, who are also struggling with character and are struggling to put in a strong match. And although people will argue that in order to have a strong match, you need to be given time, you also need to be able to show that you are willing to work and do as you're told in that time.
Yes.
Corey Graves, I feel, said it best, but we'll get into that in a moment. Paul, what's your thoughts on the Give the Diva moments?
Well, it started off as a noble notion, and Twitter got really fired up. But then I commented last night that if WWE responds, if Stephanie or Vince responds, it's a work. AJ responded, Stephanie responded back. Whether they intended it to be or not, they are going to spin it. They're going to turn this into something now, which is really awesome. I mean, what other type of entertainment can do that? That can change things on the fly like that? That can take something that was organic as that, and now they're going to turn it into something, which is pretty awesome.
I question, does this allude to AJ versus Stephanie at Mania?
No.
I don't think so.
I think AJ is on the way out of that company.
Well,
I
me
think
too.
she is too. I think she's now in a position, she's married to CM Punk, everybody knows this, and I think it's just now a matter of time. She's just going to work her contract out, take whatever leave she can take within that contract, and just be done.
Which, let's be honest, would probably be best.
I think so too, because she's not going to get the respect that she deserves. Because every time she comes out, it's CM Punk chant.
Yep.
I wasn't necessarily going to say that, but yeah, I don't really feel like she's getting the reception that she deserves, even backstage, and even by, like she said, Stephanie McMahon, Vince McMahon, people like that. The divas in that company are treated like crap. At one point, was it Michelle McCool who was told she had to go and reshoot some of the matches, because some of the taped matches, because she was better than some of the men. And Chris Jericho was apparently around to hear that conversation that Vince had with her. So that doesn't even sound bogus. That sounds like a matter of, oh, you can't be better than the men, you have to look bad.
Yeah. And I think she has Chris status as well.
See, X-Diggy Gaming's on the same mindset as me here. It's a work for AJ versus Steph. Steph would destroy her. Now that's cool. AJ can go on her way out then. But then that leaves the mark for Charlotte to step up and prove that not all divas have to be bad at wrestling.
I think that will happen straight off the bat. I think now, let's say this is a work and let's say it's not. Either way, Charlotte is going to be what this is all about. Yep. If this is a work, it will lead to Charlotte. Quite soon. If this is not a work, it will lead to, well,
Charlotte proving, yeah.
Charlotte will basically
All I'm gonna say though is that it's really cool to see everybody get all fired up and really support this. But if we start getting like 8 to 12 minute Nikki Bella matches, I do not want to hear a single motherfucker complain about it.
If this is what people are going to cry about, I don't want to hear.
But it's already too late. You see, it's already too late because these people that are saying now, oh, give the divas a chance, give the divas a chance. They're the same people last week that were saying the divas are shit and they don't deserve a match.
And the same people that were using the divas match as a toilet break.
Exactly.
So I didn't pay attention in the divas match at FastLane because I knew what it was. I pay attention to the NXT divas matches, or the NXT women's matches. But
I think the issue comes as well that people just want a longer piss break. I mean, really.
Well, it's quality over quantity. I think that's it's a 3-hour show. Monday Night Raw is a 3-hour show. Why not give these girls 3 or 4 minutes? I mean, that tag team match, that was a complete abomination. I can see why people were pissed off.
Yeah.
When you don't actually get to wrestle for 2 minutes and it's literally just, oh, look at Sting. And yeah.
I did get annoyed with the fact that obviously the match was short. I'm not annoyed, however, at the fact that it didn't need to be any longer. I mean, what were they going to do in that match other than have the Bellas pin yet again? The whole thing's leading to Paige winning the belt at Mania.
Yeah.
So, if she looks like the underdog, she's going to look amazing at Mania, and the fans will get behind her anyway, because of all this shit going on in the first place.
This is where we can tie this into a rumour I actually heard earlier this week, for Raw I believe. There was a rumour flying around that Charlotte is currently being planned to be involved in the Divas main event match, well, not Divas main event match, but in the Divas match at WrestleMania. This kind of leads to the fact that what if this is all a work? Because if that was planned anyway, they have basically just given themselves permission to do it. They have basically just made everyone go, hey, we want to see better divas, and they're basically lining up for Charlotte to be in the main event, and maybe Charlotte will win that belt.
Hey man, like I said, it's WrestleMania season, fans get wild, rumors go crazy.
Oh yeah, and if this is the case, because I know that the NXT rumor came first, then this could really just be them setting up for that. In which case, it's bloody well done.
Well, even if it wasn't their intention, they spun it so that they're going to use it, which is just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and this is a perfect reaction of what we were saying before about Triple H being in touch with social media, and the company responding and being able to change on the fly like that. And it's pretty damn impressive to see.
Yep. That kind of leads us into a question, though. Mick Ryan, hi Mick, he would like to know which diva we would like to give a chance and why.
Is it main roster or can it be any diva?
He didn't specify.
In that case, if I'm honest, I would like to take Gail Kim from TNA. I think she deserves a decent run in WWE. I would also be quite happy to give Tamina Snuka a run because she's got to be coming back at some point soon. And the only way she's going to get better is if she gets time in the ring or at NXT. I mean, it'd be nice to have a different size diva as well.
A shot. A shot goes to Naomi, who is incredibly athletic. We've seen that in her matches. I feel like giving her a good try and a good match.
I bet you'd love to give her a good try.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you bad man, you. What about you, Crystal? What diva would you like to see given a chance?
Well, I have a few actually, but if I only have to pick one, just to go against the grain, I wouldn't mind actually seeing Bayley get a chance.
Oh, I love Bayley. Yeah.
You know, she has improved over her time in NXT.
I'll give a shout out, although he's not listening live at the moment. I know who my mate John will pick. That'll be Blue Pants.
What?
Blue Pants.
Blue Pants?
NXT, gotta love it.
Yep.
Paul, what about you? Who are you pushing?
Sorry, I would just like to point out, guys, 41 minutes ago it was officially made that there's an RKO out of nowhere for Madonna at the Brit Awards.
Good, good.
That didn't take long at all.
Oh, wow. Speaking of which, Toby Michaels literally just said, I asked which diva would you like to see get a chance? He says Madonna.
Ew,
I saw a picture of Madonna recently, and like her arms are all sinewy and stuff. She's not aged well.
yeah, I was going to say, Mae Young already had her run. But, okay, which diva would I give a chance? Well, you know, the big Paul Boski would give all the divas a chance. No, I'm going to go with
Disappointed. I'm disappointed. Dusty voice.
Don't worry, that'll come later. I'm gonna say Alicia Fox. I mean, over the summer I thought that she had such a cool character going with being just a complete psycho, and her ring work was awesome. And for some reason they just dropped it and started making her flip flop. I think she's awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna say Alicia Fox.
I can live with that.
I like Alicia. I just question how far she can go character-wise.
Oh, it looked like she was primed for some big things, and then they just fucking dropped
say, judging by last summer, yeah, she could do pretty well with the characters.
Yeah, I like her.
A lot of people that are listening are saying Natalia would be a good one to push.
Yep.
And another one was Awesome Kong or ODB, but I don't see either of them coming to WWE, sadly.
No, ODB is Tendon Bar and...
Oh, she's in ROH right now.
I was gonna say she showed up in that company I hate, but I really like ODB.
Yeah. It's a pretty good angle too.
She's a kick.
Yeah, she is.
I would love to go drinking with ODB.
Me too.
Can someone please arrange that? I mean, just any time. My birthday's in November.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he's still young.
Hey, Shut up.
He's legal.
I am
He's
legal.
not that young. See, he's not that young. So.
We did just have a follower tell us that he would love to see a Diva match headline a pay-per-view.
Yes.
Go watch TNA's One Night Only Knockouts. That's the only pay-per-view that you will see them headline.
I bet you NXT will do it.
IPPV, or IPPVs that Shimmer might do.
I was gonna
Sorry,
say,
can we say major pay-per-views then, as in WWE or TNA's main pay-per-views?
no.
Yeah. Don't see it happening.
No.
Okay, so which current divas? Now, I came to this conclusion that we've spoken before about having an on and off season. I've said the divas that currently need work should be down in NXT as well. It's not tough to give them a match. It's not tough to get them to build character. They should be down there when they're not on Total Divas. They should be down there when they're not on Raw. They should all be working together. It's not tough. It's the same as some of the undercard talent. You can never learn enough. You know? Like, this is one of those situations where Vince, yet again, has gone, but this is a different product. We don't do that. No.
No, but
Man
the thing,
Vince.
But this is another case where Vince is out of touch.
Yeah.
well, and I'm not 100% sure about that because I remember who was it? It might have been actually Yoshitatsu, who wanted to relocate to Texas because of the large Japanese community there. And he was told no because he had to stay close to the performance center. So I'm thinking some of those people they're told where they can live based on how often they have to be at the performance center.
Broken neck.
That could be why broken neck, poor bugger. And that could be why that there's so many located in Florida where all the crazy stuff happens.
If you guys haven't seen the video, by the way, speaking of Yoshitatsu, go watch the video where he broke his neck.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's often what I look for on YouTube.
Yeah.
The
Chris.
what's AJ Styles' move called?
Styles Clash.
Okay, the Styles Clash. Yoshitatsu didn't tuck his neck, and yeah.
No, but that was the problem. Yoshitatsu did tuck his neck. You're not meant to tuck your neck with Styles Clash.
Yeah, sorry, that was what I meant.
So I say, Chris, you've just had your neck broken. Well done. Don't take the Styles Clash.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, he already screwed that up.
So,
And then people tried to blame AJ Styles.
is it safe to say, though, with this give a diva a chance move, I'm not even going to call it a movement. I hate when WWE do that. When this hashtag took off on Twitter, Paul, you made out that it started off as an innocent thing and saw fans getting together. What would you say it is now, then?
Now I think we've all see it for what it is. Is that now it's going to be a work? It's a story now at this point.
Was it a story before this many people reacted?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. But what really stinks is that this started with R-Truth, where is give R-Truth a chance, and poor R-Truth, he gets lost in the shuffle now.
Oh, Lord,
He got lost. He got lost in the hashtag shuffle too. Poor Truth.
I love R-Truth.
Give Truth a chance.
Yeah, what happened to that? Let's get that trending again. Give Truth a chance.
Axelmania.
Oh, Axelmania, that's going swimmingly. Let's take another question, Paul. You said we had a few of them, so let's take one.
Oh, yeah. We got a whole bunch of them. Okay, here we're gonna go with one from my buddy Steve. Good guy, Steve. When should the Ascension enter the title picture, and are we okay with the possibility of every major title changing hands at WrestleMania? So we have a two-part question there.
Okay, never and no.
Never and yes.
No, I have no problem with every title changing at Mania.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm totally cool with yes. Let's have every title change at Mania. That's what I meant by yes. Absolutely have it change. Regards to the Ascension, someone put them out of their misery.
Well, they're junk now. I mean, they already lost their first match, so they're fucking junk.
What do you mean they're junk now?
Roadkill. This is what I said last time. They're Road Warrior Roadkill.
What do you mean they're junk now? They were junk to begin with. Jeez.
Oh yeah, we already knew that, but now their push is.
Now it's official.
Yeah. Now their push is shit now. So yeah, so
Time
they
to go back
should-
down to NXT.
which is the preferred move for them. Send them back down to NXT. I mean, they're not a tag team that's going to translate up to the main roster well.
Just forward to TNA.
Just fire them.
Yeah, they could.
That's the thing about the tag division, though. It's absolutely a shambles again.
I honestly don't see what they can do with this team to make them relevant, other than a little bit of a laughingstock. I mean, these guys are struggling. What are they going to do with them?
Just fire them. Put them out of their misery.
Or send them back down to NXT and repackage.
The only way they're going to repackage them is to put them back in their gothic gimmick.
Yep.
Which I don't think they'll do because they'll realise, oh wait, we screwed up in the first place and probably should have left them like that.
Paul, what would you do with them?
There's really nothing you can do. I mean, you try to repackage them, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're a pile of shit. You put a pile of shit in a different bag, it's still going to be a pile of shit. That's just the way that it works.
So instead of cow shit, they're now just horse shit.
Yeah, guess what? It's still shit. So yeah, they're kind of screwed. They're not going to get that stink off of them. So send them back down to NXT. I mean, that small crowd down there, they like them. They'll pop for them, whatever. They're older guys, so they've been around. They know how to get folks ready.
I
But,
questioned if they'll
they're
get.
useless.
I questioned if they'll get to like a bad cult following. You know how certain games and films will be so bad that they gain a cult following.
Like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Yeah, or JTG for instance, right?
Like Curtis Axel.
Curtis Axel, yeah. Is it possible?
Does he have a following?
No.
Really?
Actually,
There's-
of course they do.
The following basically consisted of the people saying, we don't want Reigns, we'd rather have Curtis Axel. And everyone went, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like 18 smarks out there that are just going, oh, well, Curtis Axel's the best. Fuck that guy. He
And
stinks.
19 of those 18 smarks are all Aaron.
Yeah, this is true.
It's Aaron, by the way.
Yeah, Aaron, if you are listening, we know it's you. Stop, please.
He's snowed in, so,
Is he?
He's a bag
Yeah,
of bones, he'll be fine.
Yeah, hi Skeletor, try not to revert to cannibalism anytime soon.
He can't
Yeah.
eat himself.
We missed you, sweet.
Nah, he'll be fine. You'll hear him tomorrow night on Breakdown. He's got plenty to do.
I'd just like to point out live on air, you actually went with what I named it.
Yeah, we did. We went with Breakdown, because we can.
Yes!
That doesn't mean we like you.
Oh,
Yeah. Guys, like I said, you are listening to Lowdown. If you enjoy the shows or want to give us any feedback, please head over to Leveler LOW on Twitter. Give us a tweet or leave us a comment in the box below. Of course, always like and subscribe. The more follows we get, obviously, the bigger we'll get. The more we can get on the show, and hopefully in time as well, we'll have bigger subjects for you to discuss.
and the more likely we'll get to WrestleMania 32.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's start that Kickstarter already.
Yep.
Oh, and if anyone spots Rensis, please tell them we're looking for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody spots Rensis or Ronan Rose, tell them we're looking for them.
He should be out on parole by now, so people keep an eye out for Ensis, would you?
You know how for a while they were doing the where's Bateman gone?
No,
Is it Bateman?
not Bateman. Where's Maddox? Maddox they did as well.
Oh no, they did Maddox, but there was another one as well. It was
Oh,
like
yeah,
video
that was
clips that
Bateman.
Zack Ryder was doing.
That was Bateman, I think.
Yeah, there was Derek Bateman. But anyway, if you spot him in one of these segments, please, please, please message him. We miss him.
All Rancis is doing is telling us how many people he's followed and unfollowed.
Poor guy. I know how many followers he's had. More than me, and he's not even active. That's a bad sign. I love a good spam account.
That's because he's cute.
Okay, so guys, obviously we're pulling into the second hour. I just wanted to do a quick recap of how you felt about Fastlane as a whole pay-per-view. Chris, I'm going to come to you last because I know you're going to be negative. So,
Yeah.
Paul, how was Fastlane for you?
It was an average pay-per-view. The crowd pretty much stunk. I loved the main event. Loved it. I will watch that match over and over again. Roman Reigns showed that he doesn't need Daniel Bryan to carry him. Daniel Bryan didn't carry shit in that match. They told such a good story. I just loved what both of those guys did. Even the handshake at the end and Bryan telling him now go kick his ass. I thought that was well done. Roman Reigns is ready. He is absolutely fucking ready.
Man, I can feel Chris dying on the other side of this chat.
Well, guess what? It's the truth. I wasn't as big a fan of the Cena-Rusev match. I mean, it took a little while to get going. I would have liked for Cena to have tapped out. But, I mean, you know what you got to get with those matches. The IC title match was a complete fucking abomination. The rest of the card was pretty much forgettable. But the last two matches really kind of picked it up. I'll give it. It was an average pay-per-view. It was a 5.5, maybe a 6.
I'll give it a 6. I think
Yeah.
it was better than Royal Rumble, which is a good start on the way to Mania, thank fuck. We all knew it was going to be a throwaway pay-per-view, I felt.
Oh, forgot about Bray Wyatt, though. Bray Wyatt fucking killed it. So, yeah, I'm moving it up to a 6. 6.
Bray Wyatt makes it a 6. Just for Bray Wyatt, I'll give him a 10 on his own.
So everybody else.
True.
Krista, how did you find it?
From the parts that I have watched,
Yeah?
I did it on kind of a recap mode
Oh, of course, yeah.
because of where I was, and I have to say I'm actually kind of impressed with Cesaro and Tyson Kidd as a tag team. It gelled pretty well considering I've been together that long. So that was good for me. As far as I was concerned, the Rusev Cena match was dumb. You know, can't have the Superman tap out, but we're going to have him pass out. Spectacular.
It's what
And
Austin did.
It is, but it's kind of a non-event. You know, it's all this build, and then it's, for me, was anticlimactic. The IC title match was, I'm not even sure what the hell that was. Which is why it leads to a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania. This pisses me off in a way. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 5.5. Like, Wyatt aside, the main event aside, and the tag match aside, the rest of it was all pretty much, we canceled Elimination Chamber because we can't find, there's only certain arenas that can house it, so we're just going to put in this throwaway PPV to say that we have a pay-per-view match in February before WrestleMania at the end of March.
Okay. I'm just going to say a little bit before we get to you, Chris, before you decide to shit on a pay-per-view. Bray Wyatt tore the house down. I don't care how much they trolled. We all knew it was coming. We all knew it had to have something to do with Bray and The Undertaker. Undertaker doesn't even need to show up now between, like, now and Mania. The less done, the better. Because all it'll take is for Bray to say, well, he didn't come, he didn't show. And all of a sudden The Undertaker shows up and they have a good 10-minute match, and that's all it needs. That being said, Stardust Goldust was a good passing match. I'm not going to brag or toot my own horn. My predictions video, I had all barring one match wrong. Sorry, I had all barring one match right, and I had one match in the wrong place on the card. If I had bet on that card, I'd have had 230 quid in my pocket. That was with a £5 bet. Now, I'm not saying I should be booking this card, but I'd have booked the whole fucking pay-per-view better than WWE did. I'll still give it an average 6 out of 10, though. Just because Bray Wyatt was good, the main event was good. The tag match was surprisingly interesting. I really hope that at some point Cesaro swings Kid like a battering ram. Like, that would, to me, it seems like a hilarious spot. I don't see why Vince hasn't done it yet. Get Kid to hold a chair and swing.
10 out of 10, make it happen.
Yeah, it'll work. In fact, 186% that's going to happen at some point.
And
And
now it's time for me.
And almost there. Almost there. Yeah. IC title match didn't need to happen. They could have built that up until Mania. They could have had Barrett not show and claim the whole match was a fraud because he never signed. I would have preferred that. And then they could have gave the Divas longer. And suddenly all those girls on the internet and on Twitter rejoice because they got what they wanted. Now, Chris, you may shit on the pay-per-view.
Okay, I am going to go through this and discuss this match by match. The first match, which was the Authority versus, for all intents and purposes, the Faces, was absolutely... it wasn't a bad match, the ending was absolutely shit. Congratulations, guys, you officially walked down Randy Orton's return. Didn't think you'd even manage to do that. Congrats. Older Stardust, I like Stardust look.
Yeah, I did like the trouser look better than the full suit.
I've heard that look, especially even the face paint. You know how it wasn't all painted. Okay, I hope he uses that from now on. I hope he uses that going into Mania, if I'm honest. I also like the promo that he did backstage. Promo of the second best promo of the night. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro versus the Uso as well. Nah, just nah. No. Build your tag division. Come on, guys, put your finger out. Nikki Bella, Brie Bella defeated Paige. Don't even need to discuss that. It's a Divas match, which is why we need to give Divas a chance. That's why we need to give Divas a chance and let them have a decent match instead of saying, "Hey, you have to have a worse match than the men." Bad News Barrett versus Dean Ambrose. I actually liked the disqualification finish. Well, not exactly. I like the fact that Ambrose walked away with the doubt. Kind of seems like something Ambrose would do, if I'm honest. He doesn't really seem like the type of person who gives a crap about what's official and what's not. His mentality seems to be, "Oh, I won the belt. It's mine." I kind of like that. Rusev versus Cena. Well, if Cena had actually tapped, I'd have been going, "Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit." He didn't tap. They tried to pull a Steve Austin. It failed. Not interested. Thanks, guys. And Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. So basically, Daniel Bryan carrying another match. Yay.
It hurts me. Daniel Bryan didn't carry the pay-per-view. He didn't even carry the match.
However, speaking of carrying pay-per-view, what carried that pay-per-view, as everybody has said, is the Troll of the Year, Bray Wyatt. That was possibly the single best thing they did all night. Actually, it probably was the single best thing they did all night. Overall, what would I rate that pay-per-view? I would give it a Bret Hart 4 out of 10. That had one of the best cards and one of the worst outcomes.
Okay, I promised I wouldn't get frustrated at him, but I got frustrated at him. God damn it, Bryan did not pull through the whole of that match. Reigns, it was a 50-50 pull. If Reigns didn't sell, Bryan wouldn't look strong.
The thing is that pretty much all Reigns did was sell, and then had his little 5 minutes of fame, and then...
Have you seen every pay-per-view match with a babyface ever? Really?
Yeah, they sell like their little hearts out, and then they have the last 5 minutes where they kick everybody's butt. I mean, look at Dolph Ziggler.
It doesn't feel that bland.
It's not.
They told a perfect story where it's you have the big musclehead Reigns and you have the great wrestler Daniel Bryan. And Bryan figures out a way. He finds that one weakness, and Reigns did a good enough job there to make you go, "Holy shit!" You know what? This big guy, he's getting the shit kicked out of him by this little technical guy, and every time he tries to make a comeback, he just can't. It worked perfectly, and both guys played it wonderfully. Bryan didn't carry him. They both played their parts great. It was a great match.
I would actually like to say the ending of the match with Daniel Bryan shaking his hand and saying, "You'd better kick his ass." That seemed like a good way to put Reigns over, in my opinion. I'll give him credit for that.
This is a good way of putting Reigns over, because the Brian marks that think that Brian is Jesus and that he is the next coming of Christ, etc.
He looks a bit like Jesus.
Exactly. If they think that he's gonna okay Reigns, then they should okay Reigns too. And you'll find that probably 90% of fans now will begin doing that.
The issue with Reigns is I want to see Reigns carry a match.
Why?
Because
What does that do other than tell you had a shitty opponent?
legitimizes.
No, it doesn't legitimize. It tells you the opponent
Hold on,
was bad.
let me explain. Edge carried matches with John Cena. People would deny that, but it's kind of true. CM Punk carried matches with a few people. You have Daniel Bryan, who carried a match with Kane, for Christ's sake. You have Lesnar carry matches. I would like to see Reigns carry a match, because to me that is when you know somebody is good. When they can carry somebody else through the match.
He shouldn't have to. He should be booked he should be booked like Goldberg, where every match is 30 seconds. Yep, you want to make him look like he can beat Brock Lesnar? For the past 6 months, you should have had him coming out there, Superman punch, spear, gone in 30 seconds.
Main event Baron Corbin.
That's how you build a fucking monster.
He's the main roster Baron Corbin.
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. It should have been booked like, though.
Right. Yeah, a 30-second killer. That's it. That's how you book a monster. Not trying to fit Roman, which is what they did with him in the Shield. That's why everyone was so high on him, because he would come in and he would destroy everyone. As soon as he went solo, they tried to book him like John Cena and have him be this come from behind, fired up babyface. That's not him. And it looks like they're trying to reverse course on that.
He was the finishing touch to the coup de grace. And he was partnered with two guys who can go all day. You got Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, who go all day in the ring. Seth Rollins doing those wicked spots off of like balconies and shit, and then they do all the work, and then you have Reigns come in, spear and Superman punch, and they're down for the count. He was the coup de grace. That was it.
I don't necessarily agree with somebody hitting two moves and winning a match. I mean, the only reason I agree with Lesnar hitting a suplex and winning a match is because Lesnar suplexes them 16 fucking times.
Hey Chris, you're gonna love Chris, you're gonna love this. The ghost of Rory Thomas. You all remember Rory, right? Rory, who joined us for the first season. Well, Rory says, "Don't know what Chris is saying. He shouldn't have to carry anyone to prove himself."
And I do agree with that. Nobody should ever have to carry a match in their career. But if you see that people can, that is when people get made.
My whole issue with the idea of someone carrying a match, or anyone carrying a match, is that you never remember the person who carried the match. You remember the person who looked bad, and that then becomes the downfall of that match. Because people are more likely to notice the negatives than they are the positives.
But if you notice,
how many of them are actually going to notice?
Big in the company, you'll notice that a lot of the people that have been big in the company have carried matches at some point or another.
The thing is, though, is that there's something that we always keep forgetting. Is that WWE caters to the casual viewer.
Yep.
They cater to the hardcore fans. So the casual viewer is not going to know if a wrestler has carried the match. They won't.
Yeah, because they don't watch the booking of a match. They just watch the match.
They just watch the match. They don't analyze the booking like we do. They don't analyze the product. They don't analyze a wrestler's skill, or his strengths, or his weaknesses. They're looking at two matches, and they're like going, wow, look at that guy. He punched him and he was out. That's what they're looking at.
But Chris, if you look back, even as a casual fan, you look back and you look at guys like Edge, Punk, Bryan, Austin, you look at Hogan, you look at the people that have carried matches. Well, not
don't put Hogan in there. Hogan never carried a match.
Hogan probably carried one match in his career. Hogan probably carried one match his entire career. But when you look back at the names of people that have carried the matches, they are the people that are remembered, whether it's for whatever reason, they're the people that are remembered.
Okay, Paul, let's hear another question from our followers.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Jesus himself, Daniel Bryan. Now that Now then, a little spoiler here, possibly for SmackDown. There's a chance he might be involved in the Intercontinental title match there at Mania. Is this a good or a bad thing, and what does it mean for Dean Ambrose? And that comes from the lovely Trina.
Okay. I think it's good because Daniel Bryan will be going for a mid-card title, elevates the title a little bit, keeps focus on it at least.
Yeah.
However, this then means that Dean Ambrose has to feud against Bryan. They need to be careful how this is going to be booked. Obviously, one of them will have to turn heel. I imagine it's going to be Dean Ambrose, not Daniel Bryan.
Should be Ambrose.
So if that's going to work, that has to be after Mania. Because, I mean, feasibly, are you going to put Daniel Bryan in a WrestleMania match for a mid-card title and have him lose? No, of course not. He has to go in and win that. So are you going to have Bryan and Cena win your mid-card titles at WrestleMania?
Won't happen.
I have a question about that.
Go ahead, Krista.
If they put Bryan in the IC title picture, and they've already got a four-way set up for WrestleMania, where exactly do they shoehorn him in?
What do you mean? No, I think they make the Battle Royal the title.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What I was going to say is it seems to be heading towards Bryan and Sheamus. I don't think we'll get Bryan in the IC title match. I think we'll get Bryan versus Sheamus. It will have a terrible build because they've only got 4 weeks to do it. But it will happen.
Well, the story's already there, but...
Well, yeah, it kind of is, but it's WWE, you know, they never really seem to use what's already there, do they?
Paul, what's your thoughts? Daniel Bryan with the title. Good idea or bad idea?
You know what? They're totally taking this idea from New Japan, where Nakamura is pretty much their ace of the company. He is their top guy, and he's their IC champion. And he headlines pay-per-views with that. It's like having John Cena or Daniel Bryan having the lower title. Whether Bryan wins it or not is irrelevant. If he, just by those guys being associated with it, elevates it, which is what that company desperately needs. As far as Dean Ambrose goes, this kind of sucks for Dean. You know, it's just more spinning wheels with him. I think that the company really thinks that he's going to be over no matter what they do to him. You know, wins and losses are irrelevant. Finishes are irrelevant. You know, fans are just going to cheer him no matter what. And for the most part, that's the case. I mean, we've been comparing him to Tommy Dreamer for a long time. It just seems like they're wasting talent, though, because this guy is probably the most charismatic guy on the roster. He owns his character as well as anybody outside of Bray Wyatt. This guy's a main eventer, and they're just wasting time by not pushing him.
Yeah, I mean, all three guys from the Shield are main event material, and if it feels like if they were to push Bryan into the IC title, again, Ambrose would be lost in the shuffle.
Okay, so let me point this one to you. If Bryan goes into the IC title, do we get Bryan versus Cena for both belts?
That'd be awesome.
I wouldn't completely mind that. I'd just like to point out, I said this to you guys earlier, I'm saying this live on the air, I've been saying since 2013, you should have had a guy like Punk go for the IC title and Cena go for the US title. Yay!
Have we really been doing this show that long? That's a scary thought.
No, I've just been saying it for like, pretty much since I started watching wrestling again. And I was like, they should really have Punk go for the IC title.
You had me worried there, Chris. I think obviously though, if Bryan goes into this and he does go for the IC title, they've got an issue on their hands that Ambrose, like I said, is so ready to go and so over with the crowd that you're going to have two guys that are over with the crowd, and then you've got to add Dolph Ziggler, who's also over with the crowd. Then you're going to have Bad News Barrett, who with the WrestleMania crowd and the night after Mania crowd is going to be, he's going to get big pops as well. You kind of got to be careful how you book that, because you're going to have a lot of fan favourites in one match.
Yeah, someone's going to...
and then you've got R-Truth.
Yeah, someone's going to get screwed in that match, and someone's going to come out getting less boost than they did, less cheers than they did when they were going in. That's unfortunately a simple fact. You've got all people that are popular with different crowds. The only way out of this is if someone pins R-Truth, and he's probably just there for that exact reason, to be honest with you.
Well, that's if he's even in the match, though. I mean, plans keep changing weekly.
I don't even know why they put him in the goddamn match instead of DeAndre. Battle Royale.
And that's why I believe that the title will be put on the line during the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Disagree.
Because, I mean, if they decide, obviously last year they had the statue and it did nothing for Cesaro, why would they use it again? They're not going to have anyone carry the statue around, they're not going to do anything with it, so at least make it for the title, and then call it the Warrior Memorial Battle Royal.
Hopefully they've learned their freaking lesson from last year and they know that whoever wins, they should probably pull the trigger on. Well, hopefully. This is WWE we're talking about after all.
So, are we saying yay or nay to Daniel Bryan in the IC title picture?
Nay.
Nay.
I'm gonna go with yay.
Yeah, I'm yay for this.
Why not? What else are they going to do with them? I mean, you know, this will help bring some prestige to a title that used to be prestigious. I mean, you can almost do what New Japan has done, where you turn the IC title into the title.
But then you have the problem that the company currently has, especially if Lesnar is leaving. Who's going to be the biggest heel?
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, huh?
I would rather have Sheamus.
Sheamus would work, but
as much as I don't like Sheamus as a face, I think as a heel he would be perfect for the monster heel, like the big heel. I think that they should be building that pronto, to be honest. They shouldn't be focusing on elevating the IC. That can wait till after they've built Sheamus. That can wait till SummerSlam or something. If they have Cena with the US and they have Sheamus as a dominant heel, that works.
Yep.
They can focus on the USA, on the IC later down the line.
okay. Let's move on to what we call Pop and Heat.
And
Chris, hit me up with your Pop and Heat for this week.
I had a few pops actually. Stardust, Bray Wyatt, and AJ Lee on Twitter are my pops of the week. Unfortunately, I can't pick which one is best. In terms of heat, the heat of the week probably goes to, well, Lesnar not really appearing on Raw. The main reason I'm interested in watching Raw is Lesnar at the moment. So yeah.
Okay. Krista, what's your Pop and Heat?
Well, my pop again, like I'm gonna agree with Chris. Wyatt, the evolution of Stardust, and Heat. I would have to say is most of FastLane PPV from what I saw. Could have been done so much better.
Yeah, that had one of the best cards of the year, and it seemed to not really work out too well.
Well, exactly. You read the card and you're thinking this is going to be great, and then it didn't translate well to.
This will be better than Mania. Oh wait.
Sorry, Paul. Do you mind if I go first, or?
Oh, absolutely, sir.
I'm gonna say my Pop of the week actually goes to Stardust's backstage segment on Raw, where he discussed the idea of getting rid of the Attitude Era fat on the steak, so to say. He made a promo talking about how he's sick of the Attitude Era, sick of stars like Big Show, Kane, Mark Henry, Triple H, all being there, taking up the spotlight from the new guys, the future. And although it was Stardust, the promo came across very Cody Rhodes, and I'm okay with that.
It also came across as being very damn true.
It was very true. There's a lot of things that fans are garnering for him, what he said. It works. Give him a shot, see how he gets on. Make sure, though, that he looks strong beating all these heels. You could create a semi-main event star by doing this.
Yeah, this is why I wanted, instead of R-Truth, I would have preferred Stardust going for the IC title, which I it towards the Intergalactic title.
No. No. Sorry, I can't get into that idea at all. My heat of the week, however, it actually goes to the trend, the go give a diva a chance thing. You guys, you need to get a grip. Realize that the company's a business. If fans don't actually want to see divas, regardless of what's said on Twitter, if the fans in the arena don't want it, they're not going to give it to them. I mean, that's a dark match, if needs be. If you want to see divas wrestling, real women's wrestling, go find another company.
Yeah.
The divas that go to WWE know what they sign up for. They know what they go in there for, and they know what it's going to take. Some of them go in thinking they can change the business, and that's well and good, and sometimes it works. Look at Trish and Lita. Even going back as far as, like... it's hard to say, like, there's a lot of stars that obviously it's worked for, right? But there's a lot of companies out there that treat women wrestlers a lot better. TNA, key example. Shimmer, PBW in Britain.
I think one of the best examples is Lucha Underground, where the women wrestle the men.
That's a great example. So long as it looks believable at times, it's completely possible.
Have you watched much Lucha Underground?
I have, yes.
Then, yeah, you've seen some of the matches. They actually look pretty damn good.
Recently you had the 6-man tag, and you had Sexy Star take on all 3 members of the other team.
Yep.
Worked well.
Yes, it did.
But, I mean, there are things like that, but my issue with this problem is that fans have taken it completely out of context now, and they don't understand why they're saying it. It's like almost like they're doing it to get their diva a spot and a chance, not to get all divas equal chances.
This is where I completely agree with what AJ said about like the wages and stuff, and not giving them as much time, not allowing them to spread their wings as much. That to me is why they should be done, not because I want, I don't know, Naomi to get a push, or I want so and so to get a push.
I personally feel when Total Divas was brought in, that's when the issues really began. At least they get a TV show to be on, although it's not wrestling, they're still getting something. Chris, what's your PopNHeat for this week?
You done me?
You mean Paul?
I mean
Yeah. Yes, my pop of the week. My pop of the week goes to Roman Reigns for fucking dominating the FastLane pay-per-view main event. He was awesome. He held his own. Shut up. I love that match. Quit.
Sounds like someone's in denial.
Nope. I am leading the charge of the Roman Empire. Heat of the week goes to referee Rudy Charles for that fucked up finish in the Golden Stardust match. I mean, that match was a fucking tire fighter to begin with, but that finish, yuck. So, Rudy Charles, you stink.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that match was meant to finish like that. I don't think anyone is. This is an Undertaker versus Lesnar thing where everyone's like, is that supposed to happen?
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, it was so fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
He didn't even do a full 3 count either. He did like a 2 count, most of the 3 count, and then went, fucking the match is over.
Oh yeah, it was a total 2 count. Yeah, he effed it up. So yeah, nobody to blame but yourself there, Rudy.
I'm coming across more stuff about what's going on with
Lesnar.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's hear the dirt. Let's hear it.
What are the rumors now?
Oh no, it's almost the same rumor. First, Brock Lesnar was not expected to put over Roman Reigns on the microphone, blah blah blah, so we've all heard that bit. It's this reason why literally nothing of particular note to Reigns happened during the main event, besides the Bryan quick tag, which they both laughed about. It then goes on to discuss the Reigns failed the WWE testing policy, and the higher-ups in WWE were made aware. So this is suggesting that he still failed it, even though they've not gone through it.
Oh yeah, this is the first rumor that I actually heard, so that's nothing new.
Clearly, all involved are very disappointed. It's brought back discussion of Jeff Hardy's drug test failure prior to WrestleMania 24, where it was highly likely that he was to win his first championship, which was delayed until Armageddon in December.
How are you reading this article?
This is it's been typed up by a group called Meme Down.
Is it on Reddit by any chance? Because I
No.
think I read it. I've read that exact post earlier.
That's what I'm saying. It seems very similar to the other ones, just with bits added in by fans. Which leads me to my favourite segment of the week. You can IWC me.
I think we know what wins that this week.
Yeah. Y'all fuckers need to get a grip. Stop making your own rumours and stop believing rumours before they actually happen. I mean, a rumour is a rumour. It's called a rumour because it's a rumour. It's not because it's the truth. If it was the truth, it'd be called the truth, not a rumour. Get a grip. Stop being idiots. This is simple, plain and straightforward. If it's a rumour, don't believe it until you've been given facts. If someone's committed a crime, you don't put them to the chair until you've got the evidence.
Oh my god, there's a rumour that Hulk Hogan's going to walk out in the main event of WrestleMania and shoot Roman Reigns.
You were doing fine till shoot. He's probably going to walk out though because he likes the glory hug. But seriously, do not be those guys.
Promo.
Yeah, he'll botch a promo, call it the Silver Dome. He doesn't even care where they're at. But seriously, don't believe rumors if they're not true, especially if you don't know anything about them. All of these people were saying that this rumor was true, 100%. There was even a lot of podcasts out there and Twitter wrestling pages saying that this was 100% accurate and it was true. We purposely avoided saying the whole story all day because we knew there was something wrong with it. We discussed it a little bit, but we didn't say it was true or if it was false.
Yeah, like we said earlier, it seems out of character for Reigns.
Completely. It really does.
It doesn't seem out of character for Lesnar, but it seems out of character for Reigns.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Wow. Sorry guys, I'm still stunned by the amount of idiots on Twitter. Paul, do we have any more questions to get my mind off this?
Oh, yes, we do. Mick Ryan. Mick Ryan, hi Mick. He would like to know how we would book Luke Harper. Is he being held back and underused?
Have Luke Harper join the Authority, shave his beard, get a haircut, put on a suit. Absolutely love it.
I do and I don't like it.
To me, that's something they should have done at Survivor Series, to be honest. So I guess that's kind of gone past it.
We've already previously booked him perfectly, where we put him with Zeb Coulter, and he is just a badass trucker as a face.
Okay, do you have him take out Swagger first? Oh wait, are you gonna have him as a face?
Yeah, man.
Okay. In that case, I would say probably put him with Zeb, but I'm not sure how you make him a face.
Have him save Rowan.
No, don't have him save Rowan. They've been arguing too long.
It worked with Darren Young and Titus O'Neil.
True. For a little bit.
Everyone magically forgot that Titus O'Neil was a bit of a dick.
Wow. Just coming off that Divas segment, obviously people are slightly behind on the feed. Obnoxious CJ Webb says, if WWE knows that nobody wants to see Divas wrestling, why have the division on the main roster? Why is it mandatory? It wasn't for years.
I can tell you exactly why it's not mandatory.
Go ahead.
Because if the men are watching wrestling, their girlfriends probably are too.
I would say it's the other way around.
Really?
If you can persuade a woman to watch an oily man wrestle another oily man in the middle of a ring, you've made your dreams come true.
Depends on the oily man. I
okay,
wouldn't need to see Big Joe wrestle Kane.
Oh, you know you'd love that. Throw in some Mark Henry and you've got love in a pot. I'm just going to come out there, and obviously we spoke to them earlier, but the Just Saying girls, they're perfect examples of why if you oil up two guys in a ring, they're all over it. I mean, they know exactly what's going on.
The Divas division exists solely to put butts in the seats because we know men will pay to see scantily clad women participate in a cat fight.
Yeah,
That's why there's mud wrestling.
Times change. We don't want to see scantily clad women. We want to see nude women. That's how it works. I mean, seriously, you think back to the Attitude Era and look at Miss Kitty. She flashed almost every second pay-per-view. Insurrection, Armageddon. Then they had the bra and panties matches. They had the water fight match, which was the first person to fall into a swimming pool. And even at the end of the match, she jumped in the pool anyway, topless, because she could.
And now because it's PG, you won't see that.
Exactly. So men don't care about the matches anymore. So how do you liven it up? You have Paige lick Natalia's face.
The interesting point to this is the audience seems to be, I don't want to say dropping, but this seems to be some of the lowest ratings going into Mania, at least what I've seen since I started watching again.
Oh yeah.
Is it worth them changing the target audience?
Yes, but it won't happen.
Yep.
And that's the problem.
I think it also works that it would be a little bit better if WWE acknowledged what was going on, rather than just saying, well, yes, we see that you want Divas Wrestling. We want Divas Wrestling nude. Nude. There's a keyword missing, Vince.
You can't put nude on the screen.
They can put it on the screen, you're right, but they did have a live sex celebration where Lita's boob fell out. And they had a planned bomb shot. That's how, how desperate they're getting for ratings from women now.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point.
So, Mick, as you were saying though, Luke Harper, let's book him nude. People will watch that.
No, we saw him when he ripped his tank top, and that was just too much Harper.
Yeah, we all want to see some hairy man meat from a trucker.
And especially considering he looks like Jason Lee.
Oh, he does look... His name is Earl. Or that's at least what he calls his penis.
How did you know that?
His name is Earl. At least that's what he told me.
Craig helps him name it.
How does he name it? I didn't help him name it. He just called me Randy, so I assumed it was called Earl.
Lordy.
On that note, though, Mick, I would genuinely... I've been pushing for Harper to be one of the next big men. There's a time where all these big guys are disappearing. It's time that he kind of steps up, him and Rowan. Make them... I don't want to say the next Brothers of Destruction. I really don't want to do that, but it would work.
Make them the next Brothers of Destruction.
Thanks, Chris. I didn't want to say it, but you said it.
Just do it. God damn. You all know they can't book it properly anyway. Just leave them to do whatever the hell they want.
You took my thought,
But they can't book anything right anyway.
No. Greg took my thought about booking Harper as next big man.
Yeah, it needs to happen. He's the big size, he's athletic enough. See if he lost a little bit of weight.
My thought is that if you had him, like if he's booked as a heel, you had him and Sheamus do what Kane and Big Show did at the Rumble, would have been a whole different story.
Oh, yes.
Or if you had him as a face and he teamed up with Rowan and they did the same thing at the Rumble. See, that's the thing, is like, it was fine to have the big men in there, they just had the wrong big men doing it.
Yeah, you had Kane and Big Show. That's a recipe for destruction right there. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, but if they had Harper and Sheamus clearing the ring, everybody'd be like, holy cow. They would have gotten more into it, and they wouldn't have been as, unhappy with the fact that Kane and Big Show were the ones clearing the ring.
Yeah, especially when Sheamus looks like he actually hits them, whereas Big Show looks like he just runs past and goes, oh no, my fist hit your face.
Yeah, whereas when
as we saw at FastLane.
It legitimately looks like it hurts.
Yeah, for FastLane, the punch he did to Ziggler while the ref wasn't looking, was that? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that was the most, to be fair, that was the best knockout punch I've seen him do in a while. But his knockout punches just look pathetic.
Yeah.
It looks like he's basically gone, oh no, I've tapped you.
So, if Harper was to be booked as the next big man, obviously you've got to have big men for him to fight with. Other than Rowan, who else would be left as big men?
Sheamus.
Sheamus isn't a big man though. He's just muscly. He's a brawler.
Ah,
But
Yeah,
He's
he could be a
6'3".
convincing big man because he's a brawler.
But
he
he's like
fits. He
6'3".
fits.
Smaller than Triple H.
It's his style, but that's the thing. I said about who's the big. By that logic, he should only ever have a match against the Big Show.
Which is the issue I come across.
It's something that nobody ever wants to see, ever. And I mean ever.
I want to see my dad wrestle. Shut up, Chris.
Not good for you. Nobody else does.
Yeah,
No,
they
nobody
do.
Your dad can't wrestle, Craig. Your dad basically walks around the ring. Your dad basically walks around the ring, falls down sometimes, and pretends to punch somebody in the face.
You sound just like the kids at school, Chris. So,
I really want Big Show to get a "You Can't Wrestle" chant at Mania this year. I really want that to happen.
now that we've moved on from my dad, we move on to what's called the Weekly Wazim.
Nice.
Does anyone have any suggestions as to who they would like to see awarded the Weekly Wazim this week?
All for saying that Reigns did well in the match.
No, I'm gonna go with the man that the award is named after.
I too am going to go after the Weekly Wazim. It seems he has reclaimed his title.
What did he do this week?
Oh, he just tweeted a bunch of shit. Like, literal shit. It was awful. I mean, even Rory is asking to see Wasim get this week. So, Rory, I'm gonna give you your Weekly Wazim to award to Wazim. So if you want to tweet him that he has received the Weekly Wazim from the Levels of Wrestling, please do so. It'll be hilarious for us to see, and he deserves to be given his award.
He can come on the air and claim it.
Claim it. He can come up and claim it. He can even come on the show and claim it.
Well,
However,
yeah.
this does lead to the situation that we now need to find someone worse than Wazim to award the Weekly Wazim to.
Oh no, this is like Zack Ryder with the Internet Championship. This is just his thing now. It's the only thing he's got. Don't take it away from him.
What was that?
He said there was that guy that had that website, but he's been quiet.
He's been quiet because he's not stupid enough to come arguing again.
Hey guys, that was a wrestling. Supported me? No, we didn't.
No, I had no problem with him saying we supported him. I had the problem when he started putting it on his website.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he would have paid us, I mean, then, we'll do whatever you say.
Oh yeah. Integrity goes out the window when there's money involved,
I'm not going to say that we'll do whatever he says, Paul.
Paul says that Paul will do whatever they say for money.
Paul is only an advocate for himself and speaks on behalf of no one else in the Levels of Lowdown team. That's right, with the Levels of Lowdown team now. Wow.
Levels of Lowdown team.
Something else that I want to discuss. What happens to Paul Heyman after Brock Lesnar, if he leaves?
Okay. He goes off into the distance for a while, and then returns when Brock Lesnar comes back.
No.
Paul Heyman doesn't need to be on TV. You saw what happened when he was with CM Punk.
Yeah, but we all saw what happened. We've all seen what's happened when there's only one manager in the goddamn company.
And Sam Coulter hasn't been seen in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's recap, though. How many managers do they actually have in the company, including NXT?
Yeah.
How?
I mean, I'm counting Enzo as a manager, even though he's an active wrestler.
Okay, Enzo, Heyman,
And Coulter.
and Coulter, who's not around.
And Lana.
Okay, and Lana.
So you got 4. So you got 2 that are actually around. You can't have a manager with every wrestler. I know back in the day there used to be a lot more of them. The only way they can have more managers is if they get rid of authority figures.
Well, and there's not really anybody who's a good manager besides the ones that are already active.
Oh, I'd like to sacrifice Triple H and Stephanie McMahon to get more managers.
I would be happy to see Triple H take a managerial role.
Actually, that could be pretty damn cool.
But I don't see it soon.
You know what I want to see? Remember the old seasons of NXT where the pros used to get given a rookie and the rookies used to get given a pro?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would like to see that on the main roster.
No.
Or I would like to see that on NXT, rather.
Well, they tried that. They tried that with Xavier Woods and Brodus Clay. And Xavier Woods and R-Truth.
They tried that and it failed because it was Xavier Woods. What they need to do...
Xavier Woods is... Okay, hang on. Xavier Woods is actually a really good talent. Go watch Consequences Creed in TNA. You'll see what...
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that, but they don't know how to use it. What you need is...
That's WWE's biggest problem is they don't know how to use the talent they've got.
Well, yeah, and listen, see, if you had Daniel Bryan go down to NXT, for example, and work with a guy, he'll get over it.
Oh, wow.
What?
Wow. Wasim replied.
Holy shit.
Wasim Purvis says, "Tell them I don't give a shit."
Ah! that son of a bitch. Man, we go out of our way
to give him
a prestigious award,
and to name the award after him.
Exactly. And that cocksucker throws it right back in our face. Fuck that guy.
But it's prestigious as hell.
Okay.
Alright, so let's award it to somebody else.
Well, if you're not gonna take it, I'm gonna go give it to... Who can we give it to?
Fuck it, I'm taking it this week. Fuck that
Okay,
guy.
we give it to Paul. You don't...
He don't deserve that shit.
Paul gets the weekly Wazeem because he hasn't done a Dusty impression. There you go.
That's right, I haven't. Because now there's like sad Dusty. Dusty is all sad and he's lost his charisma. So I've got to work. So I have to work on a very sad, humble.
The only thing
American dream. That's the rules.
The only thing
very
sad.
The
only thing Stardust has done well is make Dusty Rhodes miserable.
Oh, Dusty, it's so bad, like they took away all his charisma and everything. I mean, he's just there with his jowls and his poor...
His jowls and his massively scarred forehead from all the bleeding.
Poor forehead and his...
Yeah, that's that do with the future.
Oh, poor Dusty. We love you, Dream. Hope you find your smile, baby.
He ain't gonna find no smile until at least one of Stardust or Goldust is dead or accepts that the family is broken.
Well, then I vote for Stardust dying.
I question at what point do they bring in Ted DiBiase to make Cody Rhodes see Cody Rhodes?
I don't think Ted DiBiase is coming back.
No, I don't think he needs to come back. I think it just needs to be a one-off.
Yeah. Can we get like Sapphire's daughter or something to show up?
Ooh, there's been a report about what happened with AJ Lee on Twitter.
Oh, go for it.
The report is apparently that... okay, first off, it should be noted that AJ's merchandise claim that they've been selling better. No, none of the Divas sell anywhere near that level, except for AJ when she was being pushed. As far as Divas being in the highest rated segments on WWE TV, the Divas segments are rarely above average when weekly segment breakdowns are available. However, when AJ was in the main event segments with stars like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, those segments did better. Regarding pay, yes, it's a general rule that Divas are paid significantly less than the men. However, this isn't the case in NXT, where Divas are often paid more than the men, because the women are often brought in as models, etc., and the men are often brought in from the indie circuit, so they're happy to accept scraps.
Mm-hmm.
A source close to AJ has said that this tweet came out completely on her own and the company was blindsided by it. Stephanie was absolutely furious with being made look bad by one of their employees and shown up on Twitter. Vince McMahon, seeing the bigger picture, reportedly instructed Stephanie to reply with the tweet that she sent, thanking AJ for her opinion.
So essentially what's happened is Stephanie bitched and moaned. Sorry, not Stephanie, AJ bitched and moaned. And Stephanie did the professional thing.
Stephanie was pissed off. Vince
Yeah,
can
of
do
course.
the professional thing.
Well, of course she needs to do the professional thing, though. I mean, that's her job, being professional as part of the company and being one of the head authority figures in the company.
But she's also entitled to be pissed off. I would be pissed off too about that.
Oh, entirely, yeah.
But on the one
It's a
hand,
kid to
AJ,
tell the Emperor his ass is hanging out.
on the one side, AJ kind of has a semi-decent point.
Oh yeah, she has a point. But it's the fact that she's airing her grievances in a public forum.
Oh, that's the best way to make your voice heard.
Yes, but you don't know the whole story behind it. Because I really don't think that the powers that be are taking their business decisions to AJ Lee saying, what do you think? So if she's only got it from her perspective as the talent, as opposed to the bigger picture, then yeah. I've known people who've gotten fired for less than what she's done.
But when it's your career that's basically your career is the thing that's being damaged by, in this case, WWE's wants and priorities, then yeah, I'd say you have every right to speak out.
Hey Chris,
Perhaps not. Perhaps, yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Have you ever worked for a corporation? Because I can tell you right away, your rights really are in this a lesser priority than the corporation making a profit.
Oh, I know completely.
I can't say anything because my corporation listened to what I do.
Okay.
I'll admit, I've worked for past corporations that make it very clear that your rights are revoked to do whatever you want.
Yep.
It's very difficult to actually get a point across to them without having basically some kind of warning that you may be fired.
Yeah.
So you do just have to stay quiet and you do just have to get on with it.
And this is the situation where I'm not necessarily saying that AJ has the right to do this, but she did it in the best way that she can. Because, in that sense, one, they can't fire her now with how public this has gone. Because if she gets fired, it comes back in their face. Oh, don't get me wrong, they can make her job to hell, but they can't fire her. And it's the best way to make your voice heard is to say it in public. Why say it behind the closed door and be told no when you can say it in public and have people agree with you? And then if the company says no, they're not like idiots.
It depends on the public and where the public opinion is at.
This is the thing, because she used the public opinion and the public opinion already agreed with it, what AJ was saying, she did the smart thing. She played off that. That's exactly what I would have done. That's exactly what I just tell anyone to do.
So, say right now, Chris, if you were told by a place of work, or you were given a job and they told you, we'll pay you X amount of money to not complain, to just do as you're told, wrestle very little and not get hurt, are you going to take the money, or are you going to be like, well, no, I want to get hurt and I want to wrestle, and really, I would just like to not have a job?
Like what?
Wait, essentially, what AJ would have been told is a case of, look, we're paying you X amount of money to do nothing and not get hurt, or we can pay you the same amount of money to go out and get hurt and have no voice and opinion.
When it's something you're passionate about.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between being passionate, though, and doing what Vince did, which, above everything, was stay professional. I agree completely that everyone has the right to say what they wish. I just believe that it should be done in a professional manner, and that's why there's tact and diplomacy.
Yeah, but there are times when you have to throw tact and diplomacy out the window because you know that they won't listen to it. Those times do occur.
Oh yes, they do occur. You know, and she is in the position to say it because she's married to CM Punk.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's rich and loaded for life now.
And also because she's backed by public opinion.
But they're set for life, so it's convenient. Whereas if it was me, who has, you know, $6.36 in the bank, I'm not going to say that because I know exactly what's going to happen. I wouldn't be in a position to say that. AJ Lee could say that because she's in the position to. So if WWE fired her tomorrow, it's no skin off her ass.
Yeah, I mean, if Randy
more money on the indies.
If Randy Orton turns around now and Randy Orton has a go at the company for something, Randy Orton doesn't have to give a shit. He can walk out of that company and go, hey, I'm going to the indies. and the Indies will pay more than WWE together.
But that's the thing. Anyone now on that roster can do that because they are literally at the point of making cash because they've just got a name value.
And this is why the Monday Night Wars were amazing.
But they all have a non-compete clause.
There are Alberto Del Rio has proven to everyone in the world that a non-compete clause in the USA means fuck all.
Yes, but that's in the
also
USA.
true.
Oh, sorry. What was that? What did you say, Craig?
I said that's true.
All you have to do is say my American rights, and all of a sudden you are scot-free. Congratulations, you just got out of every non-compete clause in existence, pretty much.
Paul, how do you feel about the whole thing? I mean, obviously AJ's got a right to say what she wants, but
I don't care. That's my opinion. I think it's a work. So what? She says something. Who gives a fuck? I think it's a work. I really do.
I believe it's becoming a work. I don't think it was originally.
Yeah.
To me, she is the single most overrated personality wrestler, whatever she is, to come along in the past decade. So.
And what WWE could do is turn this into a work to have it turn around and bite her in the ass. If you're going to say this, fine, then we're going to work it to our advantage.
Yeah, like I said, she'll probably be jobbing to people if she comes back.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
AJ, no, I don't believe she will be.
Just stay home or quit. Whatever. You don't like your job, then stay home or quit.
She probably won't. She probably won't need to come back knowing that one Punk is going to UFC. That generally helps her. And second of all, shit, I'm sure I've saved up enough money.
Yeah. Okay, Paul, before we round it up, do we have any more questions left to answer?
Oh, yes, we do. We have two more. From the ever-lovely Trina yet again. She would like to know, do we think that the Usos could win the belts back at WrestleMania due to their dad going into the Hall of Fame?
No.
No.
That'd be the easiest, lamest rationale to have them win the belt.
I think the fact that we all said...
On you go, Chris. I'll let you talk first.
I think the fact that we all said no speaks for itself.
I mean, goddamn, if I have to watch Raw on Monday night and Reigns and the Usos are holding all the belts and they make a big deal out of the Samoan Dynasty, I'll flip.
Whatever gets the belts off of Tyson Kidd, I'm all for. Bring on the Usos. Give them the fucking tag straps back. Okay. So,
Let's say that, Paul.
Yes.
Just give it to Kalisto.
Thank you. Thank you, Trina.
Give Kalisto both the tag belts. Problem solved.
Next,
Mind of Carnage, our teammate there, our family member, if you will. He would like to know, is Seth Rollins' entourage bigger because he's packing a small unit?
yes, I believe he overcompensates entirely.
Not really that small, but okay.
However, Joey Mercury, as you've noticed, has a big head and it's awfully shiny, unlike Seth Rollins.
Shot fired.
Yeah, except that shoots real ammo, unlike Seth Rollins. He shoots blanks.
Well, nobody said the guy was impotent, you know.
Okay, that was taking it a bit too far, Craig.
Well, tell me he doesn't.
We apologise to Seth Rollins for any offence that may be caused on the show.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Fuck that guy.
No, we don't, considering the cheap shots we make when we're not on this show.
Yeah.
To
Nobody's
be fair,
safe. We don't apologize for nothing.
I was going to say, to be fair, we do say words before we go live.
We're not like a WWE employee. We're gonna run our mouths, say what the fuck we want, and not apologize.
All I can say is, thank God he's holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, because all he's got in there is dick pics. Yeah, that's all he's holding.
Did you say B or W then?
What?
Did you say a B or a W when you said money in the...
Oh, Money in the Bank. I didn't say Money in the Wank, because he's not doing that.
Yeah.
Not big enough.
It's not big enough, and he hasn't got any tweezers.
Bro.
No tweezers in the
I
magnifying
love how everyone's saying it's really small, despite the fact that it's about average, to be fair.
Hey, Chris, only small people would say that.
You actually looked?
Zing.
I have seen people retweeting that photo all goddamn week.
Yeah, my Twitter feed was pretty much covered in Seth Rollins' wang.
Yeah, and who's the other girl? Was that Zara?
I'm proud to say that I have a classier group of people, obviously, on my feed because I haven't seen shit.
Oh, well.
Neither did we. We just saw him naked.
Well.
It's hard to see it.
Paul just went away and Googled it.
Well,
if
everybody's talking about it.
I don't want to know anything about it.
I mean, Mind of Carnage just asked about it. Paul Googled it. The girls from Just Saying posted it on picture walls.
Oh no, I'm the one that showed the Just Saying girls. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're also the one that showed everyone the Dean Ambrose naked pictures.
This is true. This is true.
Oh lordy, lordy, lord.
This is true. Yep. So, yep, that's what I do.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's all I've got. That's all I've got for questions.
Well, if we're all questions, guys, that brings us to the end of the show.
We still have a couple minutes left.
I've still got a big roundup to finish, Paul, but go ahead. What would you like to discuss?
Nothing.
You're just being an ass.
I would like Krista, though, to check her Twitter, if she wouldn't mind.
Krista, don't do it. You know what he sent you. Just burn your Twitter and never go near it again.
I'll point out that my sister and her 3 small children will sometimes see my feed.
Oh, before we go,
I'll delete the tweet afterwards. Don't worry.
Diggy Gaming says that 6-man tag match at Fastlane was less than average, much like Seth's package.
That's just horrific, Paul.
Seth needs to do something big in order to make sure that he gets all the stuff in the past.
There we go. We have had a new update of what happened backstage with Brock Lesnar.
Do it quick, because we've got 3 minutes.
It was a disagreement with negotiations for Lesnar to sign a new WWE contract.
Of course.
Negotiations. Lesnar wanted to be able to fight for UFC for a while still under contract with the WWE. That was not part of the agreement that Vince McMahon wanted to go forward with, and that was what caused Lesnar to get, annoyed.
And I told you, he just threw a bitch fit.
Stands to reason. I could see WWE saying no.
Oh, of course not. It didn't work for TNA. Why would WWE do it?
Yeah.
You all done with that tweet there, Krista?
Yes, take it off of my damn feed.
She saved it to her phone now.
Yeah, you better save it.
Oh, bullshit, no way.
Don't worry, I'll send it to you in the Facebook chat if you need.
Oh, great.
Okay, guys, that brings us to the end of the show. A big thank you to everyone who's listened and sent in questions tonight. It's actually been a really enjoyable show. Be sure to go and check out all of our branches of the Levels of Wrestling. So, of course, you've got Just Saying, you've got Minds of Carnage, and, of course, you've got the Ringside Ramblers. You can get all of us over on levelsofwrestling.podbean.com. Of course, you can always find us on iTunes, or you can go over to YouTube just now, like this video, subscribe, and make sure you tell your friends about it. Any feedback that we get helps us bring you a better product. Be sure to keep an eye out as well for any new blogs that we'll be posting. You can find those over at levelsofwrestling.blogspot.com. And just be sure to make sure that you get all of our team on Twitter so you can keep up with all the latest news. A big thank you, and of course, don't forget, tomorrow night, myself, Paul, Chris, and Krista, if you feel like joining us at any point, that's fine. We'll be doing Breakdown tomorrow night, and our topic for tomorrow is stars and how to create new ones while remaining with the old. So we will see you guys then. A big thank you, and good night.
Yep.